Third edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with SGPN.
Howdy ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 892. We decided, right? 892? 893 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to sexy piano lady who keeps our Discord jumping. I am not a sexy piano lady, sadly. I am Jeff, the Killbilly Fox. With me is Daniel Gumby Vreeland. Remind me what episode number we're on. He's not just here for that, though. He is also here to give you winning plays for LFA 215 because LFA has an event going down. Not just any event. Gumby says this is a good event. I see 2 title fights at the top, so I assume it's a real good event.
Yeah, we got 2 title fights on the top. We got Road to the UFC veterans in there. We got guys we've talked about 100 times breaking down LFA cards. Like, this is it also seems like it's an American event, right? But they borrowed like some of their Brazilian talent, which they don't always do. But I dig that as well. So it's a real fun card.
It's got a Canadian on the card too, which is always a good thing, right? We know who Gumby's going to pick in that fight before we even get to it. Good fight. Good card, I mean. Now, regional, I think you said last episode, regional, you were still up in plus 20 units, plus 30 units.
A little over 30 units. Yeah, I think it was like 31 or 32.
Which is good enough for everyone except that one person. We haven't heard from him for a while, though. Whoever that guy was. Maybe we hear from him now. And he
I think I want to give a shout out to everybody who talked shit to him in the comments.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone, we don't have to defend ourselves. It's good.
There's plenty of other people taking care of us. There was clearly one of his burner accounts that would write like an essay in his defense.
Yes.
But everybody else was just like, dude, shut up. And, that's what I love about our fans. Is that
yes, exactly.
They'll tell idiots to shut up.
They'll tell idiots to shut up. That's what we like. That's what we like about you people. All right, we should probably dive into it. We're dropping, if you didn't listen to last episode, we're dropping 7 episodes this week because next week is very, very quiet. So we're only doing 3 next week. And this week is jam-packed with stuff. So we should start talking, give you some more winning plays after I remind you. If you haven't already, download the SGPN app for all of our picks and podcasts for free in one convenient place. SGPN app, wherever you get your apps. Let's dive into LFA 215. We already told you it's going to be a good event. It's Miranda versus Barzilay. It's going down in Ventura, California, August the 22nd. San Miguel Hall, Ventura, California. Friday night, 7 p.m. start time. 10 fights in a cage. Sadly, it's not in a moat with piranha surrounding it or anything cool like that, or a dog cage match or anything like that. So we'll have to stick with the cage here. Emery's kicking things off. I think we've spoken about both of these guys before. These are bantamweights. Arnold Jimenez, or is it Jimenez? Even though he's American.
It's Jimenez.
Probably Jimenez.
I don't know Rafael. Any Jimenezes. You like to try Jimenez. It's true. I have never met a single person who's, and there are definitely people out there, but you really like to try the Jimenez.
You know any Nuyans?
No, I don't know any Nugent. It's Win and Jimenez.
Do you know any Cormiers? You know some Cormiers.
I know plenty of Cormiers. Yeah.
At least one Cormier.
I had a college professor whose last name was Cormier.
There you go. Arnold Jimenez versus Rafael do Nascimento. I know how to say the Brazilian names every time. They're fighting at bantamweight, 3 5-minute rounds. No odds yet for LFA. The books, we're ahead of the books as per usual. The books want to see what side Gumby falls on first. Do Nascimento, he goes by Militia, Rafael Militia, 10-3, 1 knockout, 7 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. 4-2 in LFA. Loss win over his last 4. He won his last bout via submission. He's fought at 145, 2013 Pro MMA debut. Jimenez, 12-3 with 3 submissions. He's been submitted once. He owes us some finishes, this man. 1-2 in LFA. He's won 4 straight and 10 of 11. He's not lost since August 2022. He's regional champ. He's fought at 145. 2015 Pro MMA debut. He's 2 inches taller than Do Nascimento. He's 2 years younger.
Yeah, I think Jimenez is going to be a slight dog here. My guess is like the plus 120, like negative 150 on Do Nascimento. And I'm going to go with the favorite here. Do Nascimento is a guy whose jiu-jitsu is just like, it's insane, man. Like, he's coming off of a fight where when it hit the mat, He went for a leg lock. The guy turned appropriate lock. He turned it into a calf slicer, got like an immediate tap. You know, like the Charles Oliveira on Erick Wisely tap on the calf slicer. Of course, everybody remembers that fight. Who doesn't remember?
I can't say I remember because people have yelled at me before when I say I remember something. Because they know I don't, so I won't even pretend to remember that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the same submission that he got Erick Wisely. You know, so like nasty level of jiu-jitsu. His wrestling's good. He's fast enough on the feet. And just like when I look at how Jimenez lost the last time he lost, it was like pressure and takedowns. And I think Nascimento is good enough at those things. The other thing I really don't like about Jimenez in terms of like his potential is like it seems like it takes him a long time to figure out the range. He's like accidentally clashing into the clinch sometimes. Sometimes he's throwing jabs that come up 6 inches short. It just feels it takes him a long time to feel things out. And with this wild and forward pressure-filled game that Don Nascimento brings, like I don't think Jimenez has the time to figure out what's going to happen here. So I think Don Nascimento gets all over him. I think he beats him up. And I think the jiu-jitsu winds up the difference maker. So I'll take Don Nascimento, most likely a small favorite.
All right, militia. We're going with the militia.
Yeah, he's got that metal militia tattoo too. I know I mention that every time we break down one.
I'm sure that's aged well, hasn't it?
So good.
Yeah.
MMA t-shirt brands, dude. They're great.
Exactly. Silver Star. Silver Star used to sponsor my pick'em contest decades ago. Yeah. Silver Star was one of the ones too. Yeah. The market got flooded and then they all went away. Yeah. We are going to 145 now. Chris Mecate from the United States. Erick Visconde from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds. Break her down by telling you about Visconde first. Sabugo Cobb, like corn on the cob. He is 15-3, 5 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been submitted once, 2-1 in LFA. He's won 2 straight and 8 of 9. TKO win in his last belt. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle. Correct.
Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. You have to, because there's no more MMA clothing stores. So you have to get your merch from us instead. We're running the market now. He used to fight at 135. Visconde, he's 4 years younger than Mecate. Mecate is 11-2, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. I know it's Mecate because we've spoken about him before. He's been knocked out once, submitted once, so finished in both of his losses. 3-1 in LFA. He's won 5 straight fights, though. He's not lost since August 2023. He's regional champ. He's fight at 175, 2 inches taller than Visconde. He's got 4 inches of reach advantage on him.
We did talk about him somewhat recently. Do you remember when we broke him down before?
Of course, it would have been an LFA, but I don't remember.
We broke down his fight with Erick Visconde.
Damn it. It's a rematch?
No, not a rematch.
It fell through. Okay, good.
It never happened. It fell through. So this is the rebooking. You can go back and you can listen to our LFA 212 preview if you want a more in-depth breakdown of this fight. But the bottom line is I like Erick Visconde as a slight underdog. I like take a lot of stock from his fight with Ari Farias. Ari Farias, again, a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, world champion, IBJJF kind of guy. And, you know, he knew he was going to come in there and grapple with him, right? And Visconde stuffed the takedowns, got his hands going, winds up, you know, separating Ari Farias from his consciousness with a spinning back elbow, which is the theme of the weekend.
Hey,
except for that one might have been more devastating than Prochess, maybe less devastating than Murphy. But, like, you know, that's how good Visconde's power is like it was right in that realm. And like he's got power in other ways too. Like he does a really good job of slipping jabs and then like cracking you really hard. And like I really love the power of Visconde. And on the other hand, Mecate, like he's got some nice striking, but like he's got forward pressure without jabs. It's like he comes forward, and if he just stuck a jab out there, he'd keep other people at bay better. And like he definitely needs to against a guy who's got this level of power. I also like his wrestling, but he just like he forgets to, I think. Like he just chooses not to very often. And then probably the part that I like the least about him fighting Visconde is like he's a guy who moves forward, use a jab, and then sometimes he just leads with like a naked low leg kick, and it's like he's right there to be countered. Like he's right there to get cracked. And against a guy with this kind of power, you only make that mistake once. So my guess is plus 135, plus 140 range, and I like him as a dog here.
We'll take it. We'll take any kind of dog money we can get. All right. We got 2 winning plays for you already. More to come after I remind you that we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in every sport, including MLB, WNBA golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. They have easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out the LFA lines there once they drop. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, make sure you sign up with our promo code MMA SGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA, SGPN. And Rhythm's power trends are now called smart signals. Rhythm continues to crush it with smart signals, essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. For example, a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Smart signals are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. MLB, smart signals are crushing it. Mike Trout and Giancarlo Stanton are combined 14-0 on smart signals, recommending their unders. And WNBA smart signals, 97-65 in the month of July, and that was a winning ROI of 15.64%. It was so good that Scott and Adam, a couple of our friends and hosts here at SGPN, literally were booted off one of their bookie accounts for winning too much. So that can happen to you too. Download the Rhythm app, check out smart signals, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Gumby always is. He's going to tell you a play right now, I bet, that he learned on smart signals.
Yeah, I've been playing over on Underdog Fantasy and using the smart signal rhythm plays or even just the regular house model plays to get me ahead on Underdog. And Underdog keeps offering Cameron Brink points, and she's not scoring at all. I don't know if you've noticed. She's averaging like 2 points a game. And they had it listed at 5.5. And of course, Rhythm highlighted the hell out of the under there. And she went for 0 on Sunday. So 0 points for Cameron Brink and a well-played under by Rhythm.
Yeah, she's going to get more blocks than points pretty much every game. So yeah, good play. So you can check out all the smart signal stuff over at, you can get it for free actually, 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Remember, Rhythm is RITHMM. All right, and you'll find out which WNBA players you should fade as well. We are moving on up the card. 135 now, bantamweights. Shuya Kamikubo from Japan. Marcos Breno from Brazil. Like Gumby said, they got a lot of their Brazilian fighters are on this here card. It's a big fight card. Breno will do first. 15-4, 8 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been submitted 3 times. He's 1-0 in LFA. He has lost 2 straight fights. Before that, he won 3 straight. Both of his past 2 losses have come via submission. He's not won since August 2022. He went 1-1 in Bellator, 0-1 in PFL. He also fought in a promotion called Dog Tower Fight. Have you ever heard of Dog Tower Fight, Gumby?
I have not.
Is that a thing they have in Brazil? They have towers of dogs? I don't know. Someone reach out and let us know. What did I tell you? I already told you about that. I used to fight. Oh, did I say RIP Bellator? RIP Bellator. I used to fight at 125. Breno did 2015 Pro MMA debut. He's 2 years younger than Kamikubo, an inch taller. Kamikubo Stealth is the nickname. 15-2-1, 3 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's never been finished himself. 1-0 in LFA. Oh, he's durable. 1-0 in LFA. He's won 2 straight, both via submission. He's not lost since August 2023. 1-1 on the road to UFC. Do you remember who he fought? Who beat him? Who he beat?
I don't remember who beat him, but I remember him looking very lackluster when it came to his wrestling, which is going to be part of my breakdown in about 4 seconds.
Oh, okay. Let me see who he fought, because I don't remember if Gummy doesn't remember. He fought... Oh, actually, it was Road to UFC he fought. I was thinking it was Contender Series. Yes, he fought Road to UFC, so I definitely don't remember. And it doesn't matter at this point. 6-0 1 championship. That's more important, because that's the biggest promotion in the world. He's fought at 145 and 155. 2014 Pro MMA debut. 1-0 as a pro grappler. All right, dump on his wrestling, Gumby.
So I think Kamikubo is going to come in here as a massive favorite. He's got the resume. Everybody was talking about this dude's wrestling before he came to Road to the UFC, and it proved to not be all of that great. His wrestling was all right. But then also when he couldn't wrestle, he looked like a fish out of water. Have the striking side of things down. He's a really one-dimensional fighter, in my opinion, at this point in time. And I know you just got done telling me that Marcos Breno is on a 2-fight losing streak, right? And I think he's lost by submission in back-to-back fights, which is why I think he will be like a plus 400, plus 450 kind of underdog here. And I'm still taking him because those losses came from Rafael Stotts and Danny Sabatello, who this is the second.
Hey, Danny Sabatello again. Nice.
Second day in a row we've talked about. But those are the guys he lost to. And if you go back and you watch the beginning of the fight with Rafael Stotts, he stuffs all of Stotts' early takedowns, forces him to box with them, hurts him on the feet, wobbles him, and granted, ultimately, Stotts. It's a former Bellator champion who was at the top of the bantamweight division for quite some time. But like Breno stuffed him, boxed with him, and like eventually ran out of gas. But like Kamikubo is 20 steps behind Rafael Stotts when it comes to his striking, right? Like he's probably only 2 steps behind when it comes to his wrestling, but he's 200 steps behind when it comes to his striking. So like if Breno can just stuff 1 takedown early, 2 takedowns early, and force Kamikubo to throw hands with him, we are going to see a levels kind of fight here with Breno on the feet. And look, I'm telling you, tight hooks. He works the body as equally as the head. He's deceptive on his way in. Like he does he's one of those guys who throws the hooks, but he throws it with like a hesitation to it. So like he winds up on it, gets the guy to throw it up, and then he throws around it. Like I love what this guy does on the feet, and the speed is there. Now, again, the grappling defense has been kind of iffy, which is, of course, what we worry about with Kamikubo. But I think the wrestling defense is good enough that he forces him to box.
All right, there you go. Dog Tower fight for life. It's defunct now, sadly, but he's still fighting in their honor.
R.I.P. Dog
all right.
Tower.
Breno is hopefully a bigger. Let's see what the topologists say. Hopefully
it's got to be 98%.
Yeah, 10% for Breno, so not quite that wide, but yes, pretty wide though. Still, that should be a good number. You would hope, at the very least, it's a good number on the board here. All right, we're moving on up. We are to our first championship fight. This is for the LFA Flyweight Championship. Eduardo Henrique from Brazil. Devon Lozej. Is it Lozej? Lozej. I should know he's Canadian.
I think it's Lozej.
Lozej. That's probably makes sense. Lozej. Lozej. All right, let's break it down. The challenger, Lozej, the Dream, is 8-2, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's never been finished himself. He's won 3-0 in LFA. He's won 6 straight and 8 of 9. TKO win in his last bout. Has not lost since December 2022. He's regional champion. He's fought at 135, 3 inches taller than Henrique. Henrique is Chapelin, 13-2, 6 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been submitted once. Durable guy. 3-1 in LFA. He's the champion. He's defended the title once. So it actually was a title unification bout, but I consider that a defense.
There's currently an interim title in the division too.
Again.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's won 3 straight and 8 of 9, 2 straight wins via TKO. He's not fought since August 2024, so I guess I would explain the interim. He's not lost. No,
he has fought since then. He just fought
really?
in the Ultimate Fighter house. Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. He was in the Ultimate Fighter. How do you do in the Ultimate Fighter again?
He got beat in the very first fight by eventual champion Joseph Morales.
He's 0-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. Boy, Morales looked good this weekend. Holy jeez. To our chagrin,
he looked good against Chapel. He looked good against Chapelin too.
Yep. So he hasn't lost an official fight though since July 2022. He's fought at 135, 2015 pro MMA debut. He's 2 years younger than Lozej.
So I'm fading the Canadian. I'll go Eduardo Henrique. I think he's the champ. He is coming off that loss on the Ultimate Fighter, so maybe that helps bring the number down a little bit. We'll say like -225. And I'd like Henrique at that number. The game plan for him is obvious. Sprawl, stay on your feet, box him up. He's really patient on the feet. Sometimes it looks like he's almost being lazy with his striking, but then when he explodes, he's like very dangerous, hurts people a lot. With Lozej, nice little 1-2. He throws some low leg kicks. Clearly, I think his path to victory is usually on the mat. He doesn't always go to it early, but he has been going into it more and more. But I just look 2 fights ago, the level of competition here is so different, right? Because Henrique went out there and beat Igor Serkiera, who's like an absolute beast. He took the title off of Cody Davis, who's a guy who I've always liked. Lozej is fought like Nate Smith, nasty Nate Smith, and who's an 8-5 journeyman or something like that. And even in that fight, Lozej shot the takedowns and didn't get him. And then Henrique sprawled and brawled on Cody Davis. I think he did give a takedown to Cody Davis, but he largely sprawled and brawled on him and beat him up. So for me, Lozej has some striking. He's just not nearly as fast, doesn't put the combinations together as well. Certainly doesn't have the power that Henrique has. He's got wrestling. He's definitely got an advantage in the wrestling, but I don't think it's enough to get Henrique consistently down to win this fight. And then as a result, I just kind of picked the more powerful, fast guy if this fight's going to largely take place on the feet.
All right, there you go. Another winning play. Before we get to the main event, let me remind you that we're brought to you by Circa Las Vegas, and more importantly for you, they are hosting Circa Million Circa Survivor. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Plus, you can come hang out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog at Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Maybe with this play, Gumby's going to give you right now.
Yeah, on Monday, I'm going to give you Yuri Perez pitching against the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm going to take the higher than on his strikeouts. He's coming off a game where he only pitched 5 innings against the Guardians, gave up 4 runs, which isn't, necessarily the greatest thing. But despite having kind of a shorter outing, he still struck out 8 guys on the Guardians. Guardians strike out way less than the Cardinals. So give me Yuri Perez's higher than on his strikeouts.
All right. Plus, I got something else to tell you about. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMASGPN. So get in on that while you can, and get in on Gumby's play as well. LFA Lightweight Championship is on the line in the main event. Richie, Miranda, United States versus Ilay, Barzilay from Israel, 5 5-minute rounds. And let's break her down. Tell you about Barzilay first. The hype is real is a nickname. Too much. Too many
choice.
Words, right?
That's a choice right there.
Yeah. It's too long. Too long. I don't approve. He's 7-0 with.
And also, what do you do when, if you become like a UFC champ? That name doesn't hold anymore, right? Is it still hype then? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess you can shorten it. Just call yourself hype or real. Call yourself real if you become the champ. So he's got 7-0. So that part is real. So far, he's living up to it. 7-0 with 4 knockouts, 4-0 in LFA. Won his last bout via TKO. He's 7 years younger than Miranda, an inch taller. El Machete. There's a nickname for you. That would be Miranda. 11-1, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He's 8-1 in LFA and the current champion. He's won 5 straight fights, including the championship bout in his last fight via TKO. That one was TKO win. Has not lost since April 2023. He's 3 inches, has 3 inches reach over Barzilay.
So this is an interesting fight for me. I think Miranda's going to be like the -175 favorite to Barzilay, the challenger, both because he's the favorite or the champ, and because his record's pretty legitimate, even if Barzilay's looks a touch better. I think this is a fight down in the 2 realms. So if this is a grappling match to shoot takedowns, if it does become more of that, I think he actually winds up with the worst of the grappling here, because while he has good shots and he gets to the hips well, I don't always see the best follow through on what he does from the hips. He doesn't change angles really well. He doesn't add a trip in there. He doesn't plow through. He typically shoots a takedown and he winds up against the cage, and then it takes him some time to work on it. On the other side of things, if you watch Richie Miranda's last fight, he fought Richie Lewis for the belt, who is an incredible wrestler. And Lewis really had nothing for Richie Miranda in terms of his takedowns. He kept trying and kept trying for the takedowns, and Miranda just was really well prepped for what he was going to do, stuffed it, and hurt him. So with that being said, I think this fight, if it's in the grappling realm, it's, Miranda's in the good positions. And so Barzilay might want to favor the striking realm. In the striking realm, I also think he has a disadvantage. He's got good high kicks. He's got good speed on his kicks. Throws a pretty nice quick jab that splits the guard, which, I like too. But Miranda is like a punches and bunches guy. He's a guy who he's not going to take a step back. He's perfectly fine eating that jab that Barzilay is going to throw, because he's going to hit him with 2 or 3 hooks on the other end of it. He's going to work the body. And the part I like best about Miranda is that, if you've watched any of his fights as they get deep, his cardio is next level. He is a guy who is not afraid to go 5, because he's going to be as good in the 5th as he was in the 1st. And for Barzilay, a guy who hasn't been in those situations, and then he's going to have a guy pressuring him way more than anybody's pressured him before. Because, right, if you look at his past competition, his best win is Cole Laren, who's again, not terribly good record here. So Barzilay is going to be pushed more than he's ever been pushed. And then on top of being pushed more than he's ever been pushed, he's going to be dealing with more rounds than he's ever dealt with. So I really think as the fight goes on, Miranda is going to pull away more and more. Barzilay like has to get this out of the way early and probably without like failing on takedowns, because that's going to zap a bunch of his power too. And I just don't think he's got the power to put Miranda away. So give me Richie Miranda here.
So you're telling me the hype is not real, is what you're trying to tell us?
I'm not saying the hype's not real. Like he could, the dude could have some hype. I just don't think it's real enough to beat Richie Miranda. I really like Richie Miranda. You know, he's vicious, and I think people wrote him off a while ago. You know, he took a kind of an ugly loss in there, and man, did he come back better. So yeah, I'm in on Richie Miranda.
And you said around minus 175, is that right?
Yeah, probably around there.
Okay, cool. All right. Excellent. Let's recap and we'll get you, we'll press Gumby for some more plays for us. He's got Miranda. He's got Henrique. He has got Breno. He has got Visconde. He has got Nascimento. Lightning round, zap, bam, boom, pow. You have to give us plays now.
Yeah, speaking of guys who had kind of an ugly loss and have rebounded and looked better since, the first lightning round pick I'm going to take is Jake Woodley. Like I said, he was a guy heavily touted. I think he was a 5-0 prospect, ran into another undefeated prospect, took an ugly loss. Kind of everybody got off of his welcome wagon here. So I think they're giving him a get right fight here. I don't know how playable he'll be. It'll depend on how the public views how bad that loss was. But I really think he's got a lot of potential. He's a good wrestler, got a lot of power. Jake Woodley is as a guy to keep an eye on. And then the other one I'm going to take is Naira Rep. Naira Rep, once upon a time, was like one of the most highly touted, you know, like 1-0 prospects in women's MMA. She was like a fun kickboxer. She's from Bosnia originally, and now she trains. She went from training at like a really small gym, and I think they moved to. She moved to Colorado and is training at one of those Colorado gyms. And, you know, like I expected her to do big things, and then she ran into Shannon Clark, which isn't good for anybody except for UniSC Dubend. So, like, you know, she lost a tough fight there. She's now, like, sitting on a 2-0 or a 3-2 record, which, yeah, like, doesn't look great, but, like, she's still a really great prospect. Like, she's somebody who, like, you'll look back one day and be like, oh man, she was 3-2 at a point, and then like, you know, she's 10-2 now and on Contender Series or something like that. You know, 7-fight win streak or 8-fight win streak to get to that point. So like, I like her kickboxing, I like her power, and they're, you know, she's again getting a lower level fight because of her record. So once again, that's Jake Woodley and Naira Rep.
All right, you are set now, ladies and gentlemen. If you want plays for the last 3 fights on the card, hit Gumby up in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord, on the YouTube MMA Gambling Podcast, Twitter. I guess Gumby runs our account, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland there. I am at Jeff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. Check out my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. Enter my free pick'em contest. I run for pretty much every UFC, including this week's, I guess we're already into the week. Then Gumby's got another podcast, Top Turtle MMA Podcast. Tell the people who is on it this week.
We got Dana White's Contender Series, Chasen Blair, who we've talked about on this show. He's a Cage Warriors guy for quite a while. And then we'll also talk to Gage Young, who's fighting in Shanghai this weekend.
All right, so check out Top Turtle. And, of course, you can check out all our stuff at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store to get your merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back again very, very soon. We got some Road to UFC coming up. We got some UFC coming up. We got some Dana White Contender Series. We're busy, guys. Gumby, bid the people farewell.
All right, I'm Daniel Gumby Vreeland. He's Jeff Silverstar Fox, and we will see you, I don't know, sometime soon.